Hi, I'm the rancher.
And I'm the wife.
Well, I'm heading back to the boneyard, and the boneyard, or the back 40, is a place where you store all your junk that you never throw away. And then you end up using it at some point. I'm putting in a gate to get to my cow waterer, so I'm gonna see what old gates I got lying around. This one, it's pretty darn heavy, but I got the latches on it, so I can use that. Oh yeah, it was a loose one, and you can see I put these nails in here to tighten that up a little bit, just a jerry rig. But yeah, I could work with that. The only thing you got to be careful of with a boneyard is that it just doesn't get too big, and then your whole yard becomes one big boneyard. That's happened to a man or two before, but my boneyard extends down there. But you never know what you're gonna need. You may want to barbecue something. Never know when you need an old stove. Of course, just cover the top, keep the rain out. Some of my old fuel tanks. Got a landscape rake, some 10. You're building a doghouse or a chicken coop, come grab your 10. Never know when you need a hose. There's my 12 gauge wire right there. Old lumber pile. Oh, another door I missed. I like that one. In fact, you know what? Let's use this one. You may need a cat hauler. And in my case, I'm looking for some more 12 gauge wire. So here's some in the weeds. So there we go. Boneyard win again. If I need a door, got a door right here. But this is exactly what I was looking for. So you can see the boneyard extends down all the way here. It looks unorganized to the untrained eye, but I know where everything is. And when I need it, I just go get it. I mean, look right there. If I need a stack of tires, and I know I just keep doing fencing stuff. That's all I seem to film, but when you're doing farm work, you're fencing a lot. And I'm also not the greatest YouTuber in the world. There goes the gate. I'm not the greatest YouTuber in the world. I can build stuff. All right, so I'm gonna use this white door. And I'm in the shop looking for one critical piece of equipment, and I can't find it. And the key, if you're gonna do any serious farming, you've gotta be well organized, obviously. So take some notes. Organization is gonna be key. So here we go. I'm looking for a fence tensioner, and shockingly, I am having a little bit of trouble finding it. So if my shop wasn't so well organized, I'd be having problems. Oh, here we go. There it is. This is what I was looking for. That's it. I'm about ready to make the best fence in the world. Okay, let me chuck these fence pliers in. That was loud. So this should be all the tools now. I got my wire, got my tensioners, 2 turnbuckles, a drill, crimps, some nails, got a hammer, and my door. All I need is my lumber, and I think I'm good to go. Now the only problem with using your bucket as a truck bed on a tractor is that if you forget your bucket is full of tools, then you're gonna dump them all on the ground and drive over them, which is a bad day. Now that doesn't matter if you've got Makita tools, but if you've got DeWalt, you certainly don't want to drive over them. No, I'm just kidding. Makita has great tools. But I really like DeWalt tools and I don't want to drive over them. So I got to remember, there's tools in the bucket, tools in the bucket, tools in the bucket. Because if you're driving to your job site on your property or wherever, and you've got a loader bucket full of tools, and then you see some little pile of rock or something that you want to get rid of, and you're like, well, I got my tractor, I'm going to go scoop it up, and then you forget and you dump all your tools on the ground. That has happened to me more than once. So fortunately on this one, all of my stuff is sticking out of my bucket as a reminder that I should try to not be an idiot and remember that there's tools in here. My gate, got my 4 posts I need, got my high tensile wire, got my drill, my tensioners, so I'm good to go. I'm gonna go drive the tractor around. This is my last time going the roundabout way because I'm putting in a fancy man door for easy access. And this right here is why farmers need lots of kids. As you can see, I'm alone in my tractor right now. And so I am going to have to be the gate opener. I am not used to this at all. So I got to get out. Every time you get out of the tractor too, you have to make a noise like, I got to lift this gate right here. It's my son, one of my sons would normally do this. I mean, one of them's the oldest is 5, but boy, having that gate opener, I can't imagine being a single farmer because I can't cook for myself. I can't open gates for myself. I would be in a lot of trouble. Fortunately, I have a lovely wife making a delicious meal right now for me. And I am sunless at the moment, so having to open my own gates sure is tough. Do it again. Mid-40s. It's really nice having that sun opening the gate for you. Nothing like some young muscle around. So, word of advice, have children. Have children. There's a reason God told us to have children. And for me, in my case, it's mainly these gates. So, and there's other reasons too, but one of them is not having to open your own gate. And a man can get used to having his son open a gate for him. It's a tough coming down when you have to get your own gate. And you get used to some little cowboy slinging gate for you. So anyway, I'm gonna go put up a fence. It's gonna be the most beautiful fence you ever saw. And that's a guarantee. Let me see if I can fit through here. Ooh, wide load. Oh, just made it. Just made it. Another tight one right there with the aspen. All right, home free. Driving up to put this gate in, I love seeing this fruit tree right here. That's one of the 65 fruit trees we put in. There's another little guy caged there. Seeing that they made it through winter and the cows' abuse and they're alive makes me happy. All right, so here's the site where I'm putting in a man door. I put in this pad right here, a concrete pad for my cows and sheep to step on. The reason I like concrete there is so that it files their hooves down. So I always put a concrete pad right in front of their water. And then I had to drag that here with a skid steer. That's heavy. But I had some extra concrete after a pour. So I always have forms laying around that I make. I screw some wood together and then I can pour concrete in it, and when I need that slab, I just grab it. So I need a door right here. I want to be able to come through this pasture and access this cow waterer without having to go all the way around there, down that driveway and down here. So this is where the door's going, and I hope to be using it here shortly. So this row of trees here has only been here 2 weeks. My wife and I have been busy. We put in 46 trees here, all the way down this fence line, all this river birch here. Each one of these, they're about 20 feet tall here. You can see the top of that river birch is there. All this river birch, all this blue spruce, and the aspen staggered between them. I don't want the sheep limbing these things up, but hey, Lucy, no, don't eat that. Come on now, don't eat my aspens. They're in here temporarily, so they're knocking down the grass some. It's okay if they limb some of the trees up because I'm looking for top growth. But we put all these in here and just put this installation in as well, and I fenced it, keep the cows out. We want to make a nice living wall here. So we've got blue spruce, aspen, kind of staggered. So we just put that in, and then we just put these in. So hence the need for a gate here. I need to be able to get through here and get some watering done. Look how big Peter's getting. Hey Peter, just a good boy. Yeah, come here Peter. He's getting big. So he's our sire for this year, and he's gonna breed all these gals, and he's gonna throw some huge lambs because he is a big boy. So glad they're enjoying some new pasture here, and I'm gonna get fencing. So here's my layout. I don't like using tape measures. So I'm gonna have a door there, H-brace here on this side, and then an H-brace on this side, just so I can cruise in between these two blue spruce trees here and get to the water and work some of my irrigation here. So I think that's gonna be the layout. Next up, just auger a few holes, drop the posts in, H-brace it, tension it, got yourself a gate. And now I'm going to mark my posts. So this is how you got to be really precise. So I don't even have a pencil on me, so I'm going to chicken foot that, little chicken foot right there. I'm going to X this side. That post is going to be cut there, or that horizontal is going to be cut there. And then I need to know where to land my hole for the auger, so there it is. That's all there is to it. Auger's going in here. Horizontal's getting cut there. No engineering plans needed. You don't need to call a fancy contractor with a lifted diesel truck. That's really all there is to it. You just do it yourself, and you give yourself a gate with materials from the boneyard. I'm gonna auger these holes out, and we'll have some posts. This isn't rocket science, and none of this has to be perfect. You're just trying to give yourself a door to another pasture. You want it to last. You don't want it to fall over. You may have to fix something, but you can get this done as part of your day. This should take about an hour to get this gate in, and then you move on to the next thing. So there are my sticks right there, so I know where to lay my auger down. So now I'm going to back up to my sticks that I stuck against my fence. This isn't rocket science. So there's my stick. There's my auger. Nothing to it. Here we go. All right, my holes are drilled in right here. I'm going to drop these 6x7 posts in, and we will be one step closer to having a gate here. I've got the trees on drip right now. The easiest way I found to water new trees is by running your main line, 3/4 inch or 1 inch main line like this. And then instead of fussing with emitters and putting emitters on every single tree, I go in there and I drill an 1/8 inch hole. So you can see that hole. And in the case of an aspen or a birch, a thirsty tree, I do 2 holes. It's that simple. This is going to give me a long, deep soak on the trees. Same thing over here. So I've just got my poly line running across the field here. Now I could trench it in if I don't want to look at it. And I might do that, trench in my main. But the purpose is just to keep these trees nice and fed with water. And you can see without emitters how nice that's working. This is all one line. I've got 47 trees getting watered right now with no emitters, just a hole. See that? And if I want more water, I'll do a second hole in the case of something like this aspen. And then on my blue spruce, they're not as thirsty, so I keep 1 hole there. And I'll let this run for an hour or so and give it a nice deep water. Yeah, instead of dragging a hose to 47 trees, I let this little poly line do the work for me. I'll have that watering while I'm building this little gate. And by the time I'm done, I will have 47 trees watered. So I'll get those posts plumb, throw some hinges on there, H-brace and tension that, H-brace and tension that, and then I will cut that fence, wrap it around that post, and cut that fence, wrap it around that post, and we got ourselves a door. By the time these trees are done watering right here, I will be walking through that man door. So excited to have a door here. Easy access to the irrigation and to the cow water. Actually, are the sheep right over there, Sadie Grace?
Yeah.
Let's bring them through here. Let's get them some water.
Yeah. so cute.
Thank you. This is the prettiest door in America. That's what we may call the video, how to make the prettiest door in America. It's one thing that it's almost free from boneyard material, but it's got to be beautiful too. Looky!
I'm not eating grass.
Looky!
Hey, Mom, I was eating yay grass. Put that on your arm.
Paint?
Hey, look.
When those cows come up to drink water, they'll get up on here on this concrete pad to drink the water. The reason I put that there is to keep those hooves filed down. You're not getting the farrier out as often. And I put kind of a light broom finish on it, but I keep it real rough. And I keep my lines perpendicular to their hoof. So my lines are running this way, and the hoof's going to be filing down on that slab. So they want the water, they're getting a little bit of a pedicure at the same time. So old Granny's coming for a drink here as I'm building my man door, and she's making me look bad because she went around my slab. So she knew I was making a video and she wanted to just throw a little shade on me, so she went around that concrete. She's not filing her hooves down at all right now. And then we got Rosie stopping by for a drink. She's not on the concrete pad either. So we got some bad cows right now. They're supposed to be on that concrete. She's wondering about this man door, what's gonna happen. She's thinking, should I go eat a little more grass, or should I drink something? Maybe I'll lick the salt. Should I lick the salt? Nah, I'll just stand here for a second. This is nice. Wonder what that salt tastes like. Should I eat that grass? No, I'll stand here. Maybe I'll walk this way. There we go. That's a good tulip right there. See that? Tulip finally giving us a nice little dance across the concrete floor. Just filing those hooves down. All right, about to cut my next horizontal. Got my tape on there. Tulip. I gotta get Tulip away from my sawzall. Tulip, let me get my sawzall, huh? What are you licking this thing for? Look at all that. Got some duct tape. Helps you make a clean cut with your sawzall and your H-brace in the field. No power needed. Hey, Muff. Hey, Muffs. What are you doing there, buddy? Muff taking a look at my cut here, seeing what's going on. What are you doing, Muff? So there we go, nice clean cut with the assistance of some duct tape. Works like a charm. He's inspecting the work here. Throw some duct tape on it and get a nice clean cut on the end. You can rest it on your cow trough. Get yourself a clean cut for your horizontal on the H-brace. So one step closer to having a functional man door here. So I can come out and get the cows their water and get my irrigation going nice. I'm gonna fasten my H and screw down my lags. You're wondering, why am I wearing a hard hat? That's a great question. I'm wearing a hard hat because all the men in my family that ran tools and did hard physical labor couldn't hear when they were older. So I couldn't find my ear protection, but I did have this brain bucket handy, and it happens to have these little ear muffs on there. So I'm gonna throw them on just to even lag in a screw. I'm in my mid-40s and I'd like to have my ears for a while. Look at him, he's got a hard hat on. He's putting a screw in, he's wearing a hard hat. Well, when I have sweet ears at age 85, we'll see who's laughing. So you got to protect those ears and those eyes, even if it means wearing a hard hat in the middle of a field with no trees and no overhead tools. So yeah, I'm wearing a hard hat. Got to do what you got to do. All right, H-brace is lagged in. Hard hat for the win. This is also the kind of look of a guy who is happily married. If you're comfortable wearing a hard hat around a pasture with nothing around you, you probably have a great wife. Not a lot of single guys would confidently rock the hard hat in these kind of conditions. And it is Sawzall time, which means it is hard hat time. Got to protect the egg and all the other implements around the egg, not just the egg itself. But you never know, something could come down from the sky, and I've got a hard hat on. So when in doubt, just put that hard hat on and go to town. Well, we got Granny enjoying some grass right here. And those blackbirds are always around the cows. Right there. They're always around bison and cows. And I forget. I'm sure we have an expert somewhere in the comment section. But don't they eat bugs or something off of cows and bison? Something like that, right? But those darn things, wherever that cow goes, those birds follow. I mean, obviously, I've observed this my whole life. This isn't something I just realized, but it's pretty neat that those birds are always around those cows. I'm sure they're pecking through some cow pies as well, but they got to be eating some bugs on these cows. So I always like watching those birds follow them. And I don't know, I looked it up one time, I don't remember. They're like a barnacle on a whale, it seems. Follow that darn cow everywhere. It's got its birds surrounding it at all times. Usually about six birds per cow, I've noticed. 6 of those birds per cow. All right, we are done with that man gate. And I'm here with 2/3 of my ladies and half of my cowboys. And we are checking out the new gate there that we get to use. It's gonna serve us well and be convenient for us. So it's nice having a door to this pasture. See how the cows and sheep are doing. And we are done with our door.